Okay, yesterday we had gone over the element of line. However, we're not quite out of the woods yet, because before we can go any further, we need to talk about actual lines. And implied lines. Okay, so actual lines. This is really easy to remember. Actual lines are lines you can actually see. They are made purposefully. That means anything that you actually write, anything that you draw, those are all actual lines, things that you meant to be there. Implied lines are lines that are not actually there. They are suggested, you could say. See, your brain, in combination with your eyes, sees things that aren't specifically there. It's where that phrase, reading between the lines, comes from. It's what isn't directly said, but could be meant. So art-wise, that's like going, here's some arrows. These would be actual. But a nice broad line that is between them, the distance, that is implied. Or for a more real-world example, let's say that you were standing in a light source, like so. You would be an actual line. However, your shadow, which is created just from you having to be there, that is implied. Other implied lines, like those dashes that you see on the road that separate lanes, the dashed ones imply one big old line. The dashes themselves are actual. The spaces in between that still make up that line, those are implied. In fact, I can draw right here. So yeah, you'll see these dashed lines here, but really, they form a line that tells you this is one lane, this is the other, stay in yours. So think about that. This is an artistic concept, and it's used even just in road work. Art is in many things. Funny that. And the last part of our line portion is line weight. Now, line weight is simply the thinness or thickness of a given line. So when I do something like this, that's just a standard line that I draw. That's my average weight. But if I pull back just a little bit, you get that thinner line. And if I apply pressure, you get this dark, thicker line. Now, the importance of this is that the lines can help determine several things. It can determine the focal point. Thick lines draw the eye to the subject. So let's say that you have a stack of balls. They all look the same, they're all roughly the same shape, but if I want to draw your eye to a specific one, I just darken this outline. Or I can use it to show distance. Now look at that nice implied line that I'm making while I'm doing this. Now you notice though, not only did I use a lighter line, a thinner line rather, for this one here, the thick line I used for our object closest to us. Because see, a thick line can also give the idea of distance. Thick is closer, thin is farther. Look at anything on your desk, anything on your kitchen table, wherever you're working. The things that are closest to you will be sharper in your eye. You can see the colors better, you can read it better. But if you compare to something that's, say, across the room, you might start squinting, because the lines that make it up are going to blur. The colors are going to appear a little more faint. All we're doing here is translating what your eye naturally does onto paper. Now we're going to do a quick little assignment. This you'll have to turn in, but you might want to do it just for the sake of getting practice. Take 3 items, any 3 items that you can find around you. In my case, I use a box that came in today for me, my glasses just lined on the desk, and a bottle of lotion. Arrange them next to each other. You're going to draw these same objects 3 times in these boxes here. So 1, 2, and 3. Don't have to be perfect. And I want you to draw them all with your regular weight. As in here. Don't press down too hard, don't press down too light. And with each one, you're going to put thick lines on one object and none of the others. One will have thick lines, one will say average, and one you can actually make something look thinner by using your eraser. So my first one here, I put emphasis on the box while I lightened up the lotion. The second one, I did the exact opposite. I put more dark lines around the lotion, and I thinned up the lines for the box. The last one, I applied the thinness to the lotion again. I let the box regular, by the glasses, then got the darker line treatment. Do these and hey, take them to a parent, take them to a brother or sister, ask them which of these items in each one stick out to them most. And that should be it for line. There's actually a lot more to go into, but it ties into the other elements. The next one we're going to go over will be shape and form. They're actually two different elements, but they're so closely tied together that I can actually put them into one. Till next time, Mr. Scott out.